Well, hey everybody, welcome back. It is time for another full brew day here. I decided to revisit a beer I made not too long ago. I did a collaboration with the infamous Lady Fermenter. We did a marshmallow stout. Now mine was a marshmallow toasted coconut oatmeal stout. And it was good. There weren't any off flavors. It wasn't bad. It's just that it could have been better. I didn't really get any marshmallow flavor off of it, and you know, the coconut absorbs a lot of beer, so I love the coconut flavor in the beer, but it absorbs so much of your volume of your beer that it's sort of painful to use. So I've made a few changes. I'm going to try this again. I have a few tricks up my sleeve and we're going to see what happens, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So I'm going to jump right in and let's start getting the grain ready. All right, so first up I have 77.5% two-row going into this. All right, so 5.2% UK Crystal 55. Okay, and I'm using Weyermann chocolate wheat, 8.1%. And last thing going into the mill is 3.8% roasted barley, my friends. None of that unroasted stuff. That stuff's gross. Yeah. In the words of the great Gnome Brewing, check out his channel, Gnome Brewing Co. on YouTube. This is how we mill it. This is how we mill it. You're welcome, YouTube. All right, so now that I've got everything milled up, I'm going to add the flaked oats. In this case, I'm using rolled oats. No need to put them through the rollers, although I know some people who do. I just don't because there's no point. 5.4% rolled oats will help with your mouthfeel and your head retention and all that good stuff. All right, and last thing going in the bucket is 2 big handfuls of rice hulls. Helps give you extra space between those grains for the water to kind of sift through so it doesn't become like, you know, dough in your basket. All right, I got my strike water filled, and this part's totally unnecessary since I'm using bottled spring water. But even bottled spring water can actually have chlorine in it, naturally in the water. So I put in half a Campton tablet because I'm doing like a 3-gallon batch. So these suckers are good for a lot more than that. But that will ensure that my water is completely neutral, except for, you know, minerals and salts, for a good starting base for my beer. All right, nothing left to do but to mash in. I'm going to mash in at 147 degrees Fahrenheit, and I do an overnight mash, so I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. I just woke up, as you can tell from my voice, and it is time to drain the main grain and bring that wort up to a boil. All right, guys, we're at a boil. So first and only hop addition, 60 minutes. This is 1.26 ounces of Yeast and Goldings, somewhere around 5 alpha acid. Ten minutes left in the boil. Got to put a Whirlfloc in for the homies. All right, so we're almost done here. This is going to be the first of my little secrets to try to make this better. I got these toasted coconut marshmallows off of Amazon. They're just coated in coconut. So I'm going to use, well, I think there's about a pound in here or something like that. So at any rate, 12 ounces, a little less than a pound. I'm going to use 2 packages of these. And I'm not going to roast them or anything because that did not seem to improve the beer the last time. So there's no point in wasting my time doing that. So I'm going to toss these in. All right, buddy, the boil is done. And that means it is time to chill it down. I do a no chill overnight. So I will wrap it up for protection and let it sit overnight to come down to room temperature. All right, so it's the next day. And it is time for me to transfer the wort from the kettle into the fermenter, and then aerate the wort for about 3 minutes. And at the same time, this is when I like to add my yeast nutrient. All right, so it's time to pitch the yeast. I am using Nottingham. This is Brew's high performance ale yeast is what they call it. I've used this a lot. This is a good yeast. It chews through just about everything. I use this as my emergency yeast. When I happen to have a brew that maybe stalls or something, I'll try this. Since this is a high gravity beer, this should be a good one. All right, also, here's what I've decided to do. Last time I did the cacao, I took the advice of something I saw online that basically said, don't leave your cacao in more than 4 days, and don't put it in any kind of tincture because it will get bitter. But I got like no chocolate flavor after the last time I did that. So I'm going back to the way I used to do it, which is you take the cacao nibs, which I've got here, and you put them into a little jar. And now you can use, let me turn this around so you can see. You can use a clear liquid or clear spirit. I unfortunately don't have a clear spirit, so I'm going to use this bourbon that I don't hate, but I don't love. I'm not a bourbon guy, so, and bourbon, of course, is pretty typical in stouts, so it's not unusual. Well, it's going to be hard to pour here. Basically, I just want to cover it, and then give it like another little bit. You know, I don't think that it's not going to soak up that much. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see it soak up extra, you know, then I'll pour a little bit more bourbon in it. And then just every now and then go by and shake it like this so that it's really penetrating. That's going to pull a lot of that chocolate flavor out. And we'll be back to add that to the beer at bottling, probably is what I'm going to do. That way it'll go a full week in there before I drink it. See you soon.
One eternity later.
All right, everybody. So the Marshmallow Stout has been fermenting, well, in the fermenter for a month. I should have done this a week ago. The timing didn't occur to me. So what I'm going to do is I've got the cacao here, right, that I have had sitting in this whiskey. And I've got a sanitized jar here. You'll understand why I'm doing this in a second. First of all, so I'm pouring it in here because this is gonna go into the fermenter. By the way, this is excuse me, Brewer's Best toasted marshmallow. It's a 4-ounce bottle of extract, supposedly. Yeah, I guess. I don't know that it really smells that much. But anyway, I'm going to pour it right in here because I'm going to pour this whole thing into the fermenter, every bit of it. That is not what I should have done. Well, what I wanted to do was get all of the cacao out of this, but I'll just tap what I can. So I'm going to tie it off, and it's going to go into the fermenter. And then all the liquid will go in there because, you know, that chocolatey goodness has been sitting there for quite a while. And then I'm going to let it sit for a week before I start carving it up. And I'll put a few in a couple of cans to, you know, to send out or whatever. That's it. I'll be back probably in a week to taste it. See you then. All right, so it's been a week. The cacao and marshmallow flavoring have been matriculating and vesiculating and doing whatever it's doing to add its nice flavor. And at this point, there's nothing left to do but to show you that sweet, sweet pour cam action.
Woo! That's right. Boy, Genesee, you a beast for this one. Yeah.
Well, here we are. We've made it to the end, and it sure looks good. Man, look at that head on that. That could not be more beautiful. So, just to go over the final numbers here, original gravity was 1067, probably from the marshmallows, to be honest. It's a little higher than like the recipe called. Final gravity, 1009, so it went a little drier. That's okay. Ending ABV then was 7.4%. It smells amazing. I'm not going to say it smells like marshmallow, but it's definitely a sweet smell to it. Cheers. Could use a little bit more carbonation, I think. I just actually bumped up the carbonation just now, so it'll probably be better, but wow. I don't taste a lot of chocolate from the cacao at all. I really don't. And it doesn't have a marshmallow flavor from that flavoring. It actually tastes nutty. It tastes kind of nutty. I like it. It's good, but this ain't no marshmallow stout. So, I mean, it is because it's in there, but I think I'm giving up on this one. This tastes good. I like how this tastes. I just wish it had more chocolate flavor because I'm not picking up chocolate. Not picking up any of the coconut. Well, there is coconut, but I'm just not getting what I want out of this. I want a chocolate marshmallow stout, and it's tasting like this sort of sweet, nutty stout. It's good, but it's not what I wanted it to be. So, no off flavors, so it's definitely drinkable and fine. It's just not the thing that I wanted to do. Anyway, I'm happy. This will go down good over the next few weeks, and then I'll be back with the next beer coming up here. So, cheers, everybody. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you soon. Salud.